The 5-step process to convert your content into clients, your video content into clients. Step number 1, you got to know your audience and brand. I know it seems simple and this isn't rocket science, right? One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they'll start putting out content and it's for what they think is good. It's not thinking about their audience, right? So if I put out a video is like, hey, here's how to make a cool video. Guess what? My clients don't care about cool videos. My clients care about winning clients through video. They care about building their brand so more people know about them and come to them and use their services. So I need to drive my message home with that and not talk about the box necessarily. I need to talk about what's in the box. Your brand is telling a story. Okay. And that story is you are not the main character. Okay. So the old way of marketing was, hey, look at me, look at my consulting firm. We're amazing. We've won awards. We're growing. We won clients. Nobody cares about that. What now the new way of marketing and building a story around your brand is to say, my client is the hero. Look what they accomplished. Sure, did I guide them along the way up the mountain? Absolutely. I supported them. Sometimes I let them fall down. I push them back up, but they climbed the mountain. They got the results. They were the one who actually did it. So therefore they are the hero. So it's a different perspective, right? But we've got to really understand your audience first. What do they care about? What are their challenges? So maybe you're a leadership consultant, sales consultant. They probably care about, how do I retain my people? How do I get better performance out of my people? How do I, when I'm on calls and Zooms with them, they're not engaged. I feel like I don't have that emotional connect. What am I missing there? Okay, well, let's talk about things in our content that speak to that, right? So really knowing your audience and then tying that into your brand and your story is really important. You have to go there first place you go. Posting corporate articles or quotes, none of that stuff is going to hit, right? You got to pierce right through that, and with your own perspectives, your own stories, your own knowledge. So the framework goes like this, and this is in a nutshell. There's a whole book about this, right? So you could talk for hours about this, but basically in a nutshell, the story goes, there's a character. The character, again, it's not you, it's your client. And the story goes that the character has a problem, right? So maybe if you're a leadership consultant, let's just say they're struggling to break through to their team. They're not connecting. People are quitting, bad performance. They meet a guide. Dun, 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 dun. That's where you come in, right? You're the guide. You're the trusted guide. And you understand their fears. You understand where they're coming from. You know their challenges, their pain points. You ask good questions to figure some of that out. And you realize that, just like what I spoke in the beginning, there's kind of 3 different challenges or opportunities. Some of them are internal belief systems, how they're thinking about things. I don't think I'm good enough. I doubt myself. I don't know if I can do this. Maybe I'm just not the right person for this. Maybe that's my personality. No, it's not. Let's work through that. Could be external. Could be there's doubt coming from other places. There's what if happens if I do this? What is my team going to think? What's my company going to think? What are my colleagues going to say if I start posting content about this? And then there's sometimes philosophical, which could just be your philosophies and ideology about how things work in the bigger picture of things. So as we go through this, the guide, the character meets the guide, you give them a plan, right? You give them a guide. And then whether that's a product, a service, consulting call, whatever it is, right? We provide some type of solution. Then we call them into action. We say, all right, get on the horse, go. You got the guide, you got the roadmap. Let's do this. I'm here for you. I'm kind of riding passenger seat or I'm not driving the car, not driving the horse, but I'm here for you in case you fall off or something happens. That's our role. And then what happens is that results in us avoiding failure and leading to success. It really gives you a whole new perspective, high level, on how you market your business and how you tell stories and that kind of stuff. So again, it's kind of a miss if you don't go here first. Step 2, this is kind of leading off what we just talked about. Step 2 of the 5-part process is you got to get clear on your content pillars. So, if you think about you're growing a consulting firm, a company, or you're a leader, typically you have pillars of belief or core values, right? It's kind of the same in content. So we want to come up with, our top 2 to 4 things that we want to be known for. Maybe it's 2 things, maybe it's 1, maybe it's 3, but it's going to be a couple of things, right? Probably no more than 2 or 3 or 4, because that's what we're going to talk about consistently. And yeah, you're going to talk about a lot of the same stuff. Why? Because we want to become the expert or the celebrity in that space. So if you're constantly talking about a bunch of different random stuff all the time, here's my cat, here's my, here's this, here's a random article. Here's what I thought about the ice cream shop the other day. Oh, I love vanilla. Do you guys like vanilla? If you're all over the place, people aren't going to come to you and say, that is the go-to person for this, and this. No doubt about it. I know that because they show up every single week with a ton of value. And sure, do they talk about some other stuff every night? Yeah, of course. But most of the core is built around these 2 to 4 content pillars. Number 2, you're going to position yourself as the expert guide in that space by doing that. So again, going back up to the model, this is it. You're the guide, right? So how do you position yourself? Well, you got to demonstrate that you know what you're talking about. You got to demonstrate that I understand you. I talk about, hey, I know you've got a fear of being on camera. I know that it seems like it's complicated. I know you don't have the time to create a bunch of content. Totally get that. And guess what? I can help you do it without doing all that, right? So 3rd, tell stories of you and your clients. Stories are so underrated. I mean, we've been telling stories. I mean, definitely in public speaking and presentations, 100%. We've been telling stories since the day humans were first around. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, and it's still thriving now more than ever. So telling stories in your actual content, in your videos, is really powerful because the human brain, we're trying to understand things very quickly, subconsciously. A story is relatable. It connects to the audience, and it actually just breaks down sometimes more complex issues into a story that makes really simple sense. So I'm trying to explain something to my 7-year-old daughter, Nadia. I might tell her a story. Hey, you know how this happens and trees grow? And it's kind of like that, right? Like, so we want to actually be, with our content, we want to be very simple. And the last one is, our goal is to attract your ICP or your ideal client profile, that target audience, that potential client, that dream client. That's our goal. We're trying to attract them. We're trying to build trust. We're trying to build credibility, and we're trying to be likable. And when you do those things, again, that's how this process works and how people start trusting you to invest their money with and to help solve their problems. So a quick example of this, if you're like, all right, cool, what is it? What it might look like? These are mine, right? And if you go back and look at my last 20, 30 posts, 50 posts on LinkedIn, I guarantee they all, maybe the exception of one or something, but 95% of them are going to fall in these buckets. I'm either talking about video content marketing, that's my thing, LinkedIn marketing, social selling, heavy on LinkedIn. I grew my audience. Here's where I started. Building brand, right? It has to do with content and putting out. And then there's certain times where I'm just telling entrepreneurial or personal stories, journeys. And so that's what it looks like for the example of content pillars. So you'd want to write these out as action items. You know, I'd go through this exercise here and make sure you're very clear on the audience, who you're serving. Do you speak in their language? Do you understand them? Is your brand telling that story? And then the second action item for you is to write down those content pillars. So maybe 2 to 3 to 4 things that you're going to say, this is what I'm going to talk about. So we got to the content pillars. We got to the brand of the audience. The third thing that you need to do, and this is a really, really important one. It's a simple one, but it's really important. You got to create a simple and repeatable process around how you're going to create and distribute your content. Okay. One of the major reasons I see people fall off the content wagon, or they, start, stop, or don't start at all, is because they get overwhelmed and they're trying to keep up with things. They're busy in their job. We've got kids. Everyone's got a ton of responsibility. No one just has hours in the day to be like, well, I guess I'll create some content for the next 5 hours. None of us have that, right? So how do we do this? Just like we do anything else. Just like we would cold call, we make time for the gym. We make time to eat healthy. We make time for our kids. You have to make the time. So how do you create that process? If you're not posting it all right now, or you're not consistent, especially with video, baby steps, progress over perfection. Okay. So if you're not posting anything right now, determine your goals and say, I'm going to make 2 posts a week. And that's my commitment. I'm not going to stray away from it. That's it. If I get 3, it's a bonus. Okay. Maybe if you're posting 1 or 2 times, maybe your goal is now 3, or maybe I'm doing 2 text posts a week. Maybe I'm going to introduce 1 video now per week. Again, just start somewhere. You got to build a momentum, right? You got to start, give yourself some traction. So determine your goals first. And then fill out your content calendar. And I want to show you something real quickly. This is, you're not going to be overwhelmed by how complex this is, because it's definitely not. Okay. So this is all in my notes app, but I put it on here so I can give it to you guys if you want it. This is the content calendar. This helps me keep organized. So I know coming into Monday, how to turn 1 video into thousands. That's my topic for Monday, which you guys are going to see this video here soon. Tuesday, I've got a text post, and it's going to be about, building your brand or whatever it is, right? Wednesday is going to be an interview clip, and it's talking about how to win on LinkedIn, right? So you'd fill this out. And let's say, what's today, Wednesday? Maybe you're going to fill this out for next week. And you go through, maybe you're going to do a text post here, video here, text post here. Anyways, you get through this week. And again, maybe it's starting off, it's Monday and Wednesday. Maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's 2 text posts and a video. Again, it's just progress. And then once you get that mapped out, you can go into the weekend, into Monday, and you can say, oh, my content's done. I'm not gonna have to worry about it. Because you guys know how it is. You get into your week, all of a sudden Monday. What happens Monday? Things just come up Monday. It's just how Mondays are. And then it's already Tuesday. You're trying to catch up. And then it's Wednesday, middle of the week. And now you're almost looking at Thursday, Friday. You're looking at the weekend. And then you're like, man, I'll get on the content train next week. And then that turns into next week, right? So you have to build out, and you don't have to, but it's going to help tremendously. If I still do this today, I'm like religious about it. I can tell you the next 3 weeks when I'm going to post, right? Maybe it's not all written out, but I've got a very specific plan. Why? I don't want to stress about it. I want to be able to I have client calls, I have meetings, I have a team. We're 10 people on our team. I have to manage that, lead them. I can't spend time creating content throughout the day that just throw me way off. I want to, I pick up my kids. I want to spend time with them. I don't want to think about my post for tomorrow. So I put this together, and I can send this to you guys. Again, it's pretty simple, but, and then below this, again, I have a notes app. So it looks just like this. And then below this, I've got ideas and topics. This is really important. So, and I also use voice note. I'm a big fan of voice note. So I'll be walking down the street or driving, and I'll have an idea and I'll record it. I just don't want to forget it, right? Sometimes you have an idea and you do something else and then boom, it's gone. So use your voice note, use your notes app, and I'll just drop ideas, right? Like, would you guys just ask me now? How to, or let's say redundancy, right? Like I'll write that down, okay? And then you ask another question about how long should a video be, right? And I'll write that down. I'm getting these ideas from my clients, from my prospects, from the people that need my help. Why? Because that's the greatest source ever. People are like, what type of content should I put out? Go talk to your clients. Just figure out what they're struggling with and just literally answer their questions. It's that simple. I just answer people's questions all day. How do you make a video? How do you convert it to content? What should I do for this? What should I do for that? Right? And so you're going to put all your ideas here. Below it, you can start writing out your post or scripts or full thoughts, right? Or like a video script. And here's the 3 bullet points I'm going to do in my video, right? And then below this, I've got that time management process. So I'm going to block out time to maybe write out text posts, write out video scripts, plan Zoom calls, interviews, podcast. I'm a big fan of documenting. I'm going to get into that later, but recording things as they happen and then repurposing that into content so you don't have to create. Okay. And then video editing. What's your solution going to be? There's really 3 ways. You can self-edit. I don't recommend unless you're going to do super simple stuff because it's a skill. I mean, these guys or gals are pros. So you could do it yourself, basic stuff, or if you're going to do it yourself, you could hire or delegate in-house. Maybe that's literally you have a team member, or maybe it's Upwork, Fiverr, or something like that. Or you can outsource to an agency. That is one thing that we do. We do creative videos for our clients that give us the raw clips, and boom, we send them back. But either way, you got to figure out a solution. And honestly, guys, in the beginning, don't obsess over that. Just post it. Don't let like, I haven't figured out my editing solution. Don't let that hold you back from, I got a really good 45-second video I want to post. Just post it, right? These are just things you're going to think about over time. So step 4, or I remember we're step 3, create a simple and repeatable process. We got that. Step 4 of the 5-step process is we got to create and execute now. So now we got to do it. So now how do we make these videos good? How do we make them attractive? How do we make them engaging? How do we make them eventually convert to clients? That's what we're going to cover now. And there's a few different steps within step 4, create and execute. Okay. The first one is thumbnails help tremendously. What is a thumbnail? It's the picture that people, it's not your actual thumbnail. It's what people see when they scroll through the feed, the very first picture they see. So if you didn't have a thumbnail, I did a comparison here so you guys could see. This is with and without a thumbnail. Same exact conversation. If you're scrolling through the feed and you're obviously interested in winning on clients on LinkedIn, right? Your prospects are here. Which one are you going to click on? Which one is going to attract you more? It's going to be the top one, right? Because you got the title in there. It's popping out, winning clients, LinkedIn logos on there, versus this. I have no clue what this is, right? I'd have to jump in and hopefully it's intriguing right away. Otherwise I'm probably going to bounce out. Now, again, I don't want you to overthink. If you have a video ready to post today that you just pull out you did a selfie, I don't want you to think, I don't have a thumbnail, I can't post it. No, don't think that. I'm just giving you what works really well. If you went on YouTube right now and you guys were going to watch a video, you would select based on the thumbnail, whether you realize it or not. If you're just looking for a video on how do I change my tire? How do I, fix my microwave? You would look at what the thumbnail is best. You'd say, this one looks like it would help me the most. Same thing with here. LinkedIn is a feed-based platform, which means people are scrolling through the feed. They're not searching for your content. They're not going out saying, I want to learn about leadership today. I want to learn about this software, this new program. They're just scrolling. They might be on their break. They might be, getting ready to hop in a meeting, and they're just scrolling. So you got to stop them in this track. We call it stopping the scroll. And then you got to get them to engage, which is the next step. Okay. So the next step is, again, we're still on step 4, create and execute. But the next step in step 4 is the hook. How do you get people engaged in the first 3 to 5 seconds? By the way, if you're on TikTok, you don't need a thumbnail. You just get right into this. But LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you all need a thumbnail. So the hook is the first. You have 3 to 5 seconds to give your audience a reason to keep watching. If you do not engage an audience 3 to 5 seconds, they are guaranteed gone. Again, YouTube's different because they searched it. They want to learn about it. They're a little more patient. People in the feed, boom, adios, amigos, they're gone. So the things that you can't do, that you do not want to do with the hook, the first 3 to 5 seconds, you don't want to introduce yourself. Okay. I don't need to say, hi, my name's Alex. I'm with Impacts Marketing. Today is Winning Wednesdays, and I'm here today to talk to you. They're already gone. They already kept scrolling, right? My name is right above my video. So everyone knows that. They can look up what company. They don't care what company I'm at. They're judging in the first 3 to 5 seconds. We all do it here, right? We're like, is this interesting? Is it valuable? Am I hooked? If yes, I'll keep watching. If not, I'm like, no, on to something else. Okay. Our attention spans are less than a goldfish now, according to research. It's like 9 seconds. Like it's stupid, right? But the reason is because we have so much technology and new things at our fingertips. It's like, if it's not really interesting, we just have so many interesting things going on. We'll look at our phone. I mean, what do you do if you're watching a show now and a commercial pops on? Do you sit and just watch the commercial for a minute? No, you pull out your phone, right? Or you text somebody, or you go on Facebook or something. That's just the world we live in, right? So you got to hook the folks. You don't need fancy intros. I did a video about this today. The old style videos are dying. The old style is like fancy intro, first 5 seconds, logo pops up. It's like no one cares. Like no one, they're not going to keep watching the video if you do that. Okay. So you don't need any of that stuff. And you don't want to talk about your company right away. There's a time and a place to make the pitch, to make the ask. Of course, there's a way to do that. Yes. But it's not typically in the first 3 to 5 seconds. What to do? So now what to do? Preview the value. So you could say something like this. Hey, I'm going to show you how to take one video and turn it into the thousands of videos so you can attract and win more clients. That's a good hook, right? Here are the top 3 things that leaders do not know right now that are missing out, that are causing their team to not perform as well, right? A ton of different ways we can add that in there, but it's kind of previewing what's to come. Right away, I'm giving it to them, but I'm not telling them the answer. I'm just telling them what I'm going to talk about. You could tell a story that connects. Number 2, storytelling. Again, fantastic, right? So I'll hook my audience in. Like I mentioned earlier, my first 7 posts on LinkedIn, or first 7 posts, 0 likes, 0 comments. It's like, whoa, where's it going with this? Like, why? How did he turn it around? What was the story behind it? What's the value? Like, so introducing somebody into a story is great. And then edutain. It's not for everyone, but it is a skill that I think a lot of people need to learn moving into the 2022 and beyond, because if you can find ways, doesn't mean you need to act the fool or tell a joke or anything like that. Just little things that you're doing to kind of trigger a smile, a laugh, keeping people entertained as you educate them. Still on step 4, creating and executing. Once we get beyond the thumbnail, the hook, now we're onto the value. So if we've done a good job with them, now we've got the audience here where we want them. Now we got to deliver something that's meaningful and relevant to our audience. So why should your audience care? Ask yourself that question. Is it valuable to them? What did they gain, or what will they gain from watching your video? So are you going to educate? Are you going to entertain? Are you going to motivate, inspire, or educate? A combination. Always got to be thinking about that. And then lastly, on step 4 is you got to leverage your personality. You got to unleash your creative. You got to use your own unique gifts. Maybe you're quirky on video. Maybe you've got a sense of humor. Maybe you're really great at storytelling. Like, leverage your natural gifts the best that you possibly can. Don't try to be like somebody else or Robbie, or see somebody else go, I need to act like that. No, you don't. You need to act like you. because you have no competition but yourself. No one's ever going to beat you if you're the best you. So you got to find ways to leverage that in your content. I want to cover this before I move on to the example. Actually, I'm going to play a video. It's a really short 1-minute video to give you guys, because you guys have seen all this. We're like, cool, sounds good, Alex, but what does it look like? Can we actually like literally watch a video where you do all of these things? Yes. Documenting versus creating. The brief overview of this is that when you're creating content, you have to sit down and create. You have to write out a text post. I have to think about it, write it down. I have to say, hey, I'm going to hit record. I'm going to film a video. That's creating content from scratch. Can I repurpose that? Can I use that other platforms? Can I use that as sales assets and tools? Of course, but I got to create it from scratch. Documenting is me taking this clip right here and chopping it up. I would personally send it to editing. They would send it back ready to post. I spent 0 time creating content, yet it's really good quality content for my audience because they may be thinking and wondering about these things. So if you can, Zoom calls, client calls, coaching sessions, virtual events, interviews, podcasts, all great. Those are documenting type events where they're happening live and you're chopping up the clips that are relevant and posting them as content. All right, let's go to an example.
Here's how you take one video and you turn it into thousands of videos that you can use over and over and over again to help you win new business. There's actually a ton of different ways to do this, but here's an example on a connection request. Let's say that you want to start connecting more with your potential clients, build your audience, but you don't have time to necessarily connect and then send the personal note and personalize and customize and all that stuff. This is something that you could send to a new connection that you made on LinkedIn. Hey, now that we're officially connected on LinkedIn, I had to send you a quick message. And I know what you're thinking, oh, here comes the sales pitch, it's coming. Nope. Or maybe you thought I was going to come in with something generic, like, I'm impressed with your profile. I'm not going to say that either. Although I did like the couple things that you wrote. Just kidding, I'm not doing that. Or maybe you thought I was going to say something like, welcome to my vast and powerful network. I am the king of this kingdom. I'm not going to say any of that stuff. I'm truly just happy to be connected with you now. My name's Alex, and every day my clients are using creative video content to turn their prospects into clients. I'll see you around.
So a couple things. One, again, thumbnail, strong hook, and then I got to the value. So again, I'm teaching people how to send messages in a non-custom way, but they can use one video and use it. I could send that to thousands of people that I connect with on LinkedIn. Every time I connect with somebody, I'm gonna send them that now. So that's it. And then you'll notice, yeah, there's the logo and tagline at the end. That's fine to do because the video is over, right? So when someone's done consuming the content, throw it up there. It's good because people will constantly see. Again, it's branding, right? You see an arch and you know it's McDonald's. You see the swoosh sign, you know it's Nike. No one has to tell you that, you just know. You see the Apple, you know it's Apple Computers, right? Same thing we're trying to do with our brand. Get the tagline, get the logos in there, get everything kind of branded in people's mind. The step 5 is you got to establish a clear path to conversion. Does this mean click funnels, complicated marketing? No, not at all, right? It's just simply, where do I take people from my content? Okay, so where do people go? They see your content. They're probably going to go to your profile, right? They're probably not going to just book a call. They're going to go to your profile and go, man, that was a good piece of content. Who is this guy? Who is this girl? Do they know their stuff? So you got social proof on there. Your banner's built out. Your about section talks about what you do for your clients, not how long you've been in the industry. That leads to inbound leads, meetings, or if the profile is not set up right, they bounce. The other way you can do it is you can do calls to action, right? So it could be an event, training that you're holding, a webinar. It could be a meeting. Hey, schedule a meeting with me for a free consult, whatever it might be. You have your calendar link in there or an invite, and then that leads to the meeting or the client. It's like showing up to a virtual networking event. Like you're not really trying to like go around and pitch people. You're trying to get to know people, understand their problems, provide value, provide solutions so that when they're ready to take the next step, they're going to think of you. Like, I don't need to go in detail around right now what I do. You guys have heard me now speak. Like, if you want help around this, I'm your guy, because I provided value, right? I kind of showed you some things that would be really helpful. So I treat your content the same way.